very special reader. Back by popular demand. It wouldn't be
I hope it's
pajama day, reading day,
How much I like it on this stage.
all these special books without a special reader. I told him from here on out, so he doesn't have to wonder every time we do this, he's going to be asked to read one of our books.
A lifetime
And this
invite.
person, you're going to recognize him. He is the one and only. Good point. So let's give a round of applause to Mr. Bunk! Woo!
Hey everybody! How's it going? This is like the 100th time I've read to you, right? Well, it might be your second time, but you're pretty young. Today we're going to read a book by one of the greatest authors of all time, a guy named Theodore Geisel. Have any of you ever read a book by Theodore Geisel? Theodore Geisel was the real name of Dr. Seuss. Did you know that? I'll tell you a funny story. Theodore Geisel, or Dr. Seuss, lived in California. How many of you have been to California?
No.
Really? That's a lot. I've been to California. He lived in a little town called La Jolla, California. And after he passed away, because Theodore Geisel is no longer with us, his wife would drive around. And my friend told me they would see this big Cadillac driving down the road. And you know what it said on the license plate?
Seuss.
It said Mrs. Seuss. And that's how you knew Dr. Seuss's wife was in town. How many of you brought your stuffed animals with you today? Not allowed. Well, that's good. So none of you. That was a check.
I brought mine.
Dr. Seuss used to carry around a little stuffed dog all the time. How many of you have a little stuffed dog? Yeah? It was a little brown dog. Do you know what he called this little dog? Do you know what he called his dog? Theophraptus. That was the name of his dog, Theophraptus. That's why there's so many dogs in his book, or in his books. Today we're going to read this book called What Pet Should I Get? Has anyone ever read this book? I've read a lot of Dr. Seuss books, and I had never read this book. Do you know why? Because this was a book they found after he passed away. His wife found it, and they published it after he had died. And so it's a new Dr. Seuss book. And I'll tell you a little thing. Does anyone know what I do for a living? Okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, I make commercials, but really I write things, right? So you guys learn English, and you learn grammar, and you learn to write. That's what I do every single day. Okay. That's what I do every single day. And do you know what's really important? When we write things, say you have a project, say you have a presentation you have to give in your class, you know what the most important part is? When we rewrite things. We talk about sometimes you write a story, you have to go back and read it again. What a lot of people think about this book, and as you look at it, you might recognize the characters in it. The boy and the girl in this book are found in another Dr. Seuss book. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And many people believe that this was Dr. Seuss's first write of Red Fish, Blue Fish. And he changed the story to publish his second book. So we're going to get to see maybe one of his earliest works, one of his earliest writings, and it's about What Pet Should I Get? Let's get started. That was way too long. I won't be invited back next year. Here we go. Ready? See the little boy and girl from One Fish, Two Fish? We want a pet. We want a pet. What kind of pet should we get? Dad said we could have one. Dad said he would pay. I went to the pet shop. I went there with Kay. Kay is the name of his little sister. And so we went in. I took one fast look. I saw a fine dog who shook hands. So we shook. So I said, I want him. But then Kay saw a cat. She gave it a pat, and she said, I want that. Then Kay said, now what do you think we should do? Dad said to pick one. We cannot take home two. Dog or the cat, which one should they get? Dog. Oh gosh, that's a heavy dog leaning in the audience today. All right, here we go. Let's find out which one they get. Maybe you'll be surprised. Then what do you know? We saw two other kinds. Now how could Kay and I make up our minds? So there's now a little dog and a big dog and a little cat and a big cat. A pup and a kitten. They looked like good fun. Now which would we pick? We could only pick one. The cat or the dog? The kitten or the pup? Oh boy, it is something to make a mind up. Then I looked all around. I saw something with wings. I said, look at him. We can pick one that sings. But then, look over there, said my sister Kay. We could go home with a rabbit today. Then I looked at Kay. I said, what will we do? I like all the pets that I see. So do you. We have to pick one pet and pick it out soon. You know, Mother told us to be back by noon. And I could have done it. I could have, I bet. I could have said, what pet should we get? But, you know what Kay did? Do you know what she did? She said, fish, 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 fish. It may be a fish is the pet that we wish. So what have we seen so far? We've seen a cat, a dog, a kitten, a pup, a bird. What else have we seen? A fish, a rabbit. Gosh, what would we pick? Then I saw a new kind, and they were good too. How could I pick one? Now what should we do? We could only pick one. That is what my dad said. But how could I make up that mind in my head? What is that new kind up in the corner?
Monkey.
Looks like a little monkey. Have you guys ever met my beautiful wife over here, Miss Nina? When Miss Nina was growing up, do you know what she had in her house? She had finger monkeys. That's a monkey that's only this big, that climbs on your fingers. Now, is there a luckier girl than Miss Nina? I don't know. Pick a pet fast. Pick one out soon. Mother and Dad said to be home by noon. Look it up at the top. It says, make up your mind. The time may be now to make up my mind. But who knows what other good pets I might find. I might find a new one, a fast kind of thing, who would fly around my head in a ring on a string. Yes, that would be fun. But our house is so small. This thing on a string would bump into the wall. My mother, I know, would not like that at all. So maybe some other good kind of pet, another kind maybe, is what we should get. We might find a new kind, a pet who is tall, a tall pet who fits in a space that is small. My mother might like this pet best of them all. And if we had a big tent, then we would be able to take home a yent. Dad would like us to have a good yent, but how do I know he would pay for a tent? What's a yent? I don't even know what a yent is. It looks big there, right? Long tail. So you see how it is when you pick out a pet. How can you make up your mind what to get? But what if we took one of each kind of pet? Then our house would be full of pets we could get. No, Dad would be mad. We can only have one. If we do not choose, we will end up with none. All right, here we go. I will do it right now. I will do it, I said. I will make up my mind that is up in my head. The dog or the rabbit? The fish or the cat? I picked one out fast, and then that was that. And we turned the page, and there's nothing there. So, we never find out what Kay and her brother picked out. So let's take a vote. If you flip to the very last page of the book, it shows 4 options. Now keep going to the right, other one. Keep going to the very end, it's the back cover. There we go. So we're going to vote with our hands, not with our mouths. We're going to vote with our hands. So we're going to say, what pet did Kay and her brother get? So when I say the name of the pet you think they got, you raise your hand. No yelling, no shouting. So how many of you think they got the cat? Couple. How many of you think they got the dog? Ooh, lots of dogs. How many of you think they got the fish? Okay, I think dog is in the lead, followed by cat. And how many of you think they got the winged thing, the bird? Okay, so today we've decided they got the yet. Right? No, the dog. Thank you, everybody.